It's quite a steep hill.
Hello, Philip.
Morning. Okay. Okay, good.
Lovely day.
It is.
Stunning, isn't it?
I know.
This is my kind of weather.
Go in and have a look and see what
Yeah.
you think. I'll get a coat.
All right.
I'll come and join you too.
Beautiful bath. Wow, look at that. Isn't it gorgeous? And they've got the heaters on as well, which is even nicer. Well, it's a beautiful building, isn't it? It's stunning. Really stunning. We've got a beautiful gallery up there and fantastic windows. Oh, look at these cabinets. It's like the cabinet that Meg painted the flamingo on. Love it. Morning. How you doing?
Very well, thank you. Yourself?
We're recording
Lisa.
now, everybody.
Right, okay. Sensible.
Well, first of all, let's just introduce you. So you're Philip Tobenheim, and you are the owner of the Wootton Auction Rooms. And how long have you been the owner of the Wootton Auction Rooms, or how long has the auction rooms existed?
Well, that's a difficult question. We've been in the town since the middle of the 19th century. So we go back way back. Yeah, honestly, we go back to what was known as Loose Pains. It was a general practice firm, and then it got divided up. But I've really run it since about 1980, but owned it for about the last, for about the last 10 years, I think I've owned it
Wow.
for about 10 years.
It's very successful, well-known auction rooms, isn't it?
Well, I like to think we are. I mean, we're quite a big sale room for a small provincial town.
Yes.
Which is not running Wootton under Edgedown at all. It's a wonderful, wonderful town, and we're all very grateful to be here, really. But it's just a really good centre for us.
And do you think that being part of the Antiques Roadshow, because you're one of the experts that appears regularly on that programme, has helped to boost things?
Well, I think people like to see a local boy on the television from time to time.
I always do.
Oh, you,
Like, oh, it's Philip,
Well,
great.
yeah, I haven't been on that much, but I mean, I've been there for years and years and years.
Yes.
But it gets you out and about, and you meet people that you wouldn't otherwise have had the chance to see and meet. And I've got some very good friends who I can phone up and say, look, we've got this in the sale room. Can you just give me a bit of help with the description of this or the value of that?
Yeah.
So it's a matter of getting to know people. Networking, I think, is the
So, from our perspective, we obviously feature Fancy Furniture, we're just down the road. I just wanted to try and help novices who've never been to auctions and things before to feel that they can come here and it's very approachable, and obviously you're nice and friendly and so are the staff, and to try and sort of explain to people how it all works. So if you were going to tell somebody what the procedures are, how does it work?
Well, it's really very simple. I mean, the sale that we're standing in the middle of now is a 3-day sale next week, starting Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's 2,200 lots, so there's a vast amount of stuff here, really. Everything you can possibly think of. And if you haven't been here before, it's simply come up to the sale rooms. Oh, well, two things. You can look online. Actually, we're online now. The entire sale is online with photographs, descriptions, estimates, and so on. So you can have a look from the comfort of your own home exactly what we've got here. If you like what you see, you can then either register to bid on either the Easy Life platform or the sale room platform.
Is that saleroom.com?
Saleroom.com.
Yeah. Is there a difference between the two?
The one most people are now using is Easy Live, because there are virtually no fees on that. I think it's £3.50, forgive me if I'm slightly
Yes.
wrong, but I think it's about £3.50 to sign up for the entire day, and you can bid on every lot you possibly want to on that. And if you buy anything, then there's no extra charges. If you bid on Sale Room, I think there's an extra charge of about 6% on top of the hammer price. So most people are now tending to go towards the Easy Live. So you register, or you come up and you have a look and you see what we've got, and you decide you're going to stay for the sale. So you go into the office, you get a registration number where we take your name, address, and other details.
And that doesn't cost anything.
That doesn't
to
cost
register,
anything.
does
It's
it?
absolutely free, and then you can be as wild as you like in here. You know, you.
And it gets pretty wild
And
sometimes, doesn't it?
Well, it goes very well. I mean, we get through about 100 lots now, which isn't a great deal. We used to do a lot more, but the internet slows us down a
Yes.
great deal. So we do about 100 lots now. So it's pretty lively. But I mean, we have 800 lots on the second 2 days. So it takes 8 to 9 hours to sell. So we're on the rostrum for a total of about 20 hours in about 3 days, selling 2,000 lots. So you can judge the time when it goes through. You sit in front of the rostrum here. And when the lot comes up, it's introduced. It comes up on the television screen behind us there. So the picture comes up, the lot comes up, the estimate comes up. The bids will start coming in on the internet. We sort those out. We then have people bidding in the room, and that's when your chance to come in if you wish to. So you might have a figure of, say, £100 in mind for something, and you might buy it for 30, 40, 50, 60 or 70 or 80 or 90 or 100, or somebody else might then take it on at 110, 120, 130 pounds. And then you move on to the next lot. So every 30 seconds or so, there's another lot coming through.
So if somebody's successfully bid in the sale room and you've taken their number and then it's their lot and they have to then go to their dental appointment, what happens then? They just go into the office?
Go into the office and pay, or scuttle off to your dental appointment and then come back and pay for it. It's absolutely, if the dentist hasn't taken all your money first, it's okay. We can make it work. But the biggest problem here is turning a sale around, and we do this every 28 days or so. So 1,500, 2,000 lots in, 1,500, 2,000 lots out. So the important thing is, once you've bought, is to collect as promptly as you can. We've got some very good local carriers who will take away large items if you can't manage that. You get a lot of bewildered husbands turning up on a Saturday morning with estate cars that are slightly too small, not being quite certain.
The legs off.
Exactly. Well, we do.
Table.
Yes, it's one of our most useful objects is the company saw. But they do turn up with cars that are slightly too small. Their wives having bought during the week and they're not quite certain what they're loading. But we always get it away somehow.
Yeah.
It
And so
works.
if they wanted to, they can take it away the same day.
Same
can't
way,
they?
absolutely. You can buy lot number one, go into the office, pay for it, and clear it immediately. And you know, so we try to get things as cleared as quickly as possible.
I think there's a sort of an inbuilt fear that when there's an auction in process, you can't actually walk around or nod your head just in case you've suddenly accidentally bought a lot. But it's not actually like that,
no,
is
it's perfectly safe. You're in good safe. You're in safe hands.
Yeah.
Really, or instinctively from the rostrum, you know when somebody is actually bidding
Serious.
or just pointing at one of the carpets on the on the gallery. And then you can sometimes take pretend you're taking a bid from them, and they're horrified, and they jump back, and then it's all right again. You know, we never actually sell anything to anybody they don't actually want. Well, I think we might have done that to you once or twice,
several times.
but generally, you're perfectly safe. You're perfectly safe.
So what about if people want to actually submit something to auction? How does that work?
Well, that's easy enough. Increasingly, people will send through photographs online, and we will look at the photographs that arrive in the office on the email, and we'll go through the list and say, look, out of these 10 items, 5 are worth sending through. The other 5, sadly, are not. But we'll grade it out very quickly. Equally well, I spend a lot of my time, most of my time actually, in other people's houses, from tiny cottages to some of the largest
stately homes.
Yeah, it's everywhere around here. All our work really comes in for this sale from about a 30 or 40 mile radius of Wootton Under Edge. So I spend most of my time going around in very, very small circles, very, very busily.
I know the feeling.
Exactly, we have this parallel lives in small villages and the town. And sometimes it's one item that comes in from a house, sometimes it's an entire house contents. So we're always there to help. And if people are confused about what they want to do, or just bewildered, sometimes they've just lost a parent or a grandparent and they don't know where to start. Or they may need a probate valuation, or just they're moving to a smaller house, or maybe they've had a conversation with their kids and they're moving house and they've asked the kids what they want, and the children say, we don't really want anything. We'll have the money, but we don't really want anything. So again, I go and have a look, and then we sort out things.
And you arrange the collection of the items and all that sort of thing?
And we arrange the collection, so it's very easy. And then everything is photographed, everything is catalogued, and the client gets a full list prior to the sale of their entire inventory. They can watch the sale. You can watch the sale go through live, and some people do that. And there's one dear old soul who used to come to the sale room. She's in her mid-80s now, and her nephew gave her an iPad for Christmas last year. And so she watches that, and she sits down in the kitchen watching that. And I spoke to her the other day, and she said, "Oh, Philip," she said, "it's just like listening to the cricket." She said, I'm doing whatever I'm doing, and there you are. You're asking £100 for something, and then suddenly you're up to £500 or £600, and I stop and I think, "Go on, Philip, you can get 1,000." And then when you get 1,000, she said, I cheer, and it's just like both of them scoring a century. She said,
That's lovely, isn't it? It's wonderful. I do find it actually very soothing when I'm listening to the auction in the
Oh,
background.
right, well, I put you to sleep, do I? That's not what I'm here for. I'm supposed to keep you lively and vibrant and
You
zippy.
do that as well.
And zippy.
You do that
Well,
as
that's
well.
it's encouraging.
There's a phrase that I hear when I'm at the auction, and that is a condition report. So what exactly is that, and how does that work?
Condition reports. We do hundreds and hundreds of condition reports before the sale because a lot of people now do not view the sale, or they may live 100 miles, 200 miles, 500 miles away from the sale room. They will look at the online sale, the online catalogue, decide they're interested in a particular piece but want further detail on the condition, particularly if it's ceramic or glassware, for instance, or clocks or watches or whatever. They will then send an email through saying, please send a further condition report on lot so-and-so. I'm particularly interested in damage or colour or size or whatever we may have neglected to tell them. And so we do a full condition report on that one object with all faults, really.
And does that cost them?
Nope, absolutely free. It's just another thing we do for nothing.
Goodness me.
I know.
That's a lot of extra work, isn't it?
Well, yes, I mean, we do hundreds and hundreds
Yes.
of condition reports every. I mean, Tim is working on those continually for about 3 or 4 days prior to a sale, doing nothing else. And extra photographs, and particularly Chinese porcelains sometimes need extra photographs of the bases and certain aspects and colours and so on are all very important. So we do an awful lot of extra photographs and descriptions on certain specific things. Or out of a mixed lot, everybody will home in on one tiny little piece out of a mixed lot. And so we have to take special interest in that. But we adapt to whatever the questions are.
So the next thing, most important I think in lots of ways, is fees. How does that work? So people bid on something,
Yep.
they paid £100 for
Yep.
it. What are the fees that go on top of
Well,
that?
remarkably, you pay £100 for something in the sale room here. By the time you get to the office, it's about £120.
Right. Just
It's
magically walking across the road.
it's a gift from the Lord.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah, yes, absolutely. Well, a buyer's premium, and we are very reasonable with our buyer's premium, which is 18% plus the VAT, so it's about 21%. I shouldn't carry that figure in my mind, but it's about 21%. So you pay 21% on top of the hammer price, so £100 costs you about £121.
Right, okay. And then obviously we're in the main building here,
Yep.
which is just the most glorious church, ex-church, isn't it? Ex-chapel?
Yes, yes, it was Rowland Hill's Tabernacle built
Beautiful.
in the. Yes, it's a fine building. It suits us really very well. It's a jolly good building. The light's good. Not necessarily that warm, but it's a very good building. And then we've got the Sunday school on the far side of the road, which is on 2 floors plus some offices in there. And we've just taken on a warehouse up in the industrial estate, just up in the corner there, which holds another.
And will that also be open for viewing?
That'll also be open for
stock
viewing.
that is for sale.
That's stock that's for sale. We've also got a big car park up there for 60 or 70 cars. And this month we've also got 60 or 70 lots of furniture for sale on the ground floor of Nibley House in North Nibley. So we're
Okay.
selling it there. I mean, it's lotted there. It can be viewed there. It's being sold from here.
Right.
All the photographs come up on the screen. So
And is that part of
that's
the
part
Wednesday
of the sale.
sale?
That's
or?
part of Wednesday's sale. That's
Yeah,
part of Wednesday's
which
sale.
is mainly the furniture.
Which is, yes, all furniture on Wednesday. So on Monday, where do we start? Pictures, books, ephemera, including stamps, large collection of gold and silver coins going through. So about 550 lots on Monday. On Tuesday, we're onto the ceramics, the silver plate, watches, collectibles, and so on. Wednesday is all about the furniture and the outside lots and the Persian rugs that you see round the balcony. And then we do it all again next month.
So it's every month.
Every month.
Whether you like it or not.
Whether you,
it's all in,
if you know
all
no
out.
other life, it's don't know other life, it's fine.
And do you ever worry that you're not going to have enough lots? I mean, is furniture ever going to run out?
Well, it just seems to go around in big circles, really. I mean, we've never had such large sales as we are having now. Since COVID struck, was it 3 years ago?
Yeah.
I mean, we've had an increasing amount of furniture coming through. People moving into smaller accommodation, and smaller houses take less furniture.
Yeah.
So to a degree, there is more furniture out here on the market. And maybe we're just attracting more furniture because we're, do I say it? We're good
You're
at
good.
what we do.
You're just good.
We're good at what we do, yes. So, and we've been here for many years, and we're, try to be a nice company, rather
Yeah.
like yours. We just try to be nice
We're
people.
friendly people.
We're
aren't
friendly
we?
people, and that makes a big difference.
People.
We are, and it makes a big difference when you're.
Go halos.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Yes. And we are in a church, an ex-church.
So, off the top of your head, what do you think would be the most expensive item that's going to be in this sale?
In this sale, we've got some nice jewellery. I'm just trying to think. Some of the coins will do very well because of their sheer weight of gold. I haven't got a real outstanding winner in this sale, but I've just got lots and lots of things. Virtually it'll all sell. There's virtually no reserves on any of this sale. So 2,000 lots, I may have 200 reserves. So it's all going to have to go, and it will.
And the reserve price that you put on it, the sort of the guide price, as it were, it's a guide only. It doesn't mean to say that's what it's going to go for. It might go for a lot more, but it might not even meet
exactly.
the base price.
You know, we tend to be try to be realistic with our guide prices. So if it's priced at £50 to £80, it'll probably be somewhere in that region. Occasionally we get it spectacularly wrong.
Don't we all?
And it could be £50 to £80, and we have sold things with that estimate on for 2,000 or 3,000.
Yes.
Something
it's
very exciting. Yes, the room goes quieter.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then people put applauds at the end, don't they?
Well or jeer, or jeer. Yes. No, it generally works well. But the guide prices are a useful sort of estimate, really, on the sort of street that we think we're in, really.
Yeah. Great. So, is there anything else that you think that we should have asked you and we haven't?
I think as a true professional in the antiques business, I think you've covered it all very well. And you've probably been to more sales than I have. I never go to anybody else's sales, so we may be getting it entirely wrong. No, I think you've covered it all very well. I mean, the answer is, if you come along to the sale room for the first time, is just to make yourself known to the staff. If you're uncertain about where to go and how to deal with things, or you just want to ask further questions, there's always plenty of people around who will be very pleased to give you a hand and a welcoming
steer.
A steer. That is the word. Steer on life, and you'll soon become addicted. I mean, that is my ploy here, to get you completely addicted to the auction room world. And once you are infected, I'm afraid there's absolutely no
going back.
There is no antidote.
No.
There is no antidote.
Did you speak about putting reserves on if you can't be present?
Oh yes, we didn't say that.
No.
If you view the sale and you can't be here at the auction, you can certainly leave bids with us. So say again, our £100 chair, you would leave £100 on it if that's the price, the maximum price you'd be prepared to pay. We would bid on your behalf from the rostrum up to that figure. Now it may be that you get it for £40 or £50. Or 60 or 70 or 80 or even up to 100, depending on the other bids that were coming in on the room. We would only go as far as the bid you had left us if we needed to go that far. Otherwise, somebody else will take it on at 110 or 120. But the chances are you leave 100, you might get it for 50 or 60. So we don't, because you leave that figure, it doesn't mean to say you buy it at that price.
And for somebody who's bringing something here to sell, they could also put a reserve price on it so that if it didn't hit that mark, they could have it back again without feeling that they've sold it for 2 and 6 when it was actually...
That's very true. I mean, I can't remember the last time we sold anything for 2 and 6, actually. How old are you?
Ancient. Really ancient.
I know you're not. But no, I mean, as I say, out of the 2,200 lots, I think we've probably got a couple of hundred reserves where we've got a particular figure that we must achieve. Otherwise, we look after things from the rostrum. So if we've got an estimate of our chair there again of say 100, 120 pounds, we wouldn't sell it probably at 30 pounds, but it would go on. And generally, we're fairly accurate with that. And if something is just ridiculously low, or for some reason just not gelling on the day, we'll put it down as not sold, and it can be included in the following sale. So a client is pretty well looked after. And with a large estate coming through, often it takes 2 sales to clear it, because out of 100 lots, shall we say, 80 sell really very well. 10 sell reasonably, and for whatever reason another 10 just don't get anywhere. But we reinvent those into the next sale, and invariably they go on, and we'll sell next month.
And it's fair to say that you pretty much auction all sorts of things here, from the finest of fine antiques through to quite decorative, bizarre objects, because the decorative, bizarre objects are the ones that I always home in on, aren't they?
You've taken most of those we've ever had. But I think we're an old-fashioned sale room in many respects, a good old country sale room that will sell virtually everything, providing it's got some quality, providing it's got some potential, I think, really, and providing it's just got a little bit of something about it. We spend a lot of time turning things away, so when you walk into the sale room here, it is jammed full of things that we think has got a chance of selling and selling well. Yeah. But it's very broad. You could stand here all day and spend £100 on 3 or 4 lots, or you could spend 5,000 on one piece. You know, it's how it is.
And just because I'm curious, I mean, I could ask you so many questions, it could go on for hours, but just because I'm curious, what was the most expensive thing that you've ever sold, and possibly the most surprising thing that you really had no idea about, and it just kept going up and up and up?
Well, what have we had recently? only because it happened very recently. There was a pair of Chinese vases in here last month, the month before, that I think we'd estimated at 300 to 400, made 7,800. I think
Wow.
they made. That's just because it's freshly on my mind. But we do get some remarkably good results just on some quite odd little things. I can't think of anything just off the top of my head that we have sold well. The problem is there's so much going through. It's like
Yes.
working on a trawler. There's so much
Yeah.
here all the time. You rarely focus on one piece.
And once the sale's done, it's done. It's next. then, isn't it?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
it's game over, and you move straight on to the next one. The sale you're working on was either a good one, a bad one, or an indifferent one, but it's gone.
Yes.
And there's a tsunami of furniture. We've already got probably quarter of a sale, half a sale in store at the moment, ready to come in for the January sale. Plus, there's about 3 or 4 houses that need clearing, ready between now and Christmas or just after Christmas to come in. So there's always a backlog of things coming through, which is the way to be. And if we're not doing anything, then we're in trouble. You've always
Yeah.
got to be carrying something or moving something
I
or
was gonna
driving
say-
somewhere or talking to somebody, or you've got to be doing something every moment of the
Very
day.
proactive.
Right, you've got to be that way.
And as the owner, do you actually get involved in moving and lifting and shunting a lot or not?
I do
How's
actually.
your back, in other words?
On my back, yeah. I'm actually quite. No, I think I'm pretty good, really. I try to do pretty well everything, really. I'm not. I have to say, I'm not good on the computer, so they keep me out of the office work really as much as possible.
How lovely.
It is.
Somebody would do that for me.
I know. Well, and I'm not too good at that. But generally, I'll get stuck in. I'll unload the lorries. I help load the lorries. We'll move things out, move things in. I drive a van rather like you do during the week, because it's much easier to do that.
Yeah,
just
quieter.
It is quieter. It's just quieter. And you're never short of friends if you've got a van.
No,
You
that's
notice
for
that,
sure.
you've got
I've
a
noticed
van.
that. Right, so sale is next week,
Yep.
starting on Monday. Viewing day is Monday as well, even though the
Yes.
sale will be going on.
Yes.
People can still come up. What time does it start and what time does it finish?
Right, on Monday we're viewing from 9 o'clock. We start selling at 12, but it is just those items I've told you about, the
Yes.
pictures and the book. But you can still view the main sales while all that's going on. We'll just be getting on with our work on the rostrum, but you can still wander around the sale room and look at everything else. There'll be staff to deal with everything there. We start there at 12 o'clock. On Tuesday morning, again viewing from 9, but we start at 10. And on Wednesday morning, viewing from 9, and we start at 10.
And generally it can go on until obviously the last bids happen.
Well,
and
yeah,
can that be late?
we've been selling on the rostrum at 7:30, 8 o'clock at night
Have you?
in the past.
Gosh.
We should be finished by 6:30 or 7 on the second 2 days, on the Tuesday and the Wednesday. But it never ends really. It
No.
never ends. And then Thursday morning, things are going out, but first things start arriving in for the next sale. So it's a
Oh my
constant
goodness.
wash really of
Yes.
things. So, but if you know
Constant
no other,
wash of loveliness.
loveliness.
Lots of good
but if you know
goodies.
no other life, it's fine.
Yeah.
If you have no other life whatsoever,
It's really great.
it's really great. People do have lives, I'm told, but I've never really discovered it.
But not you.
I've never discovered it.
So is it okay if we just go and have a quick look round the sale
Absolutely,
room?
yeah, absolutely,
Over in the,
absolutely have,
schoolroom?
yeah, absolutely have access. I'll take
And,
you over and we can
Have
see.
a quick look at that.
Yeah, you can see what you want. I don't know if you need some views from the gallery, but that view's pretty well up there. We'll just have a scan round quickly.
Yeah,
But
fantastic.
we'll go. Do you want
Yeah,
to go to
just go and have a quick look in the
yeah, we'll
schoolroom
go to
now.
the
That'd be
schoolroom.
great.
Yeah. That's for sale, yeah, that's for sale.
So normally this area is full of garden
It
stuff
is.
in
I mean,
the
just
summer,
because
isn't
it's
it?
December, we're absolutely yes.
Yes.
We've got very little in, but it's all down the side of the building as well.
Right.
But as we move into March and April, we'll be full.
And I mean, on the practical turn as well, we have toilets here, gents and
yeah,
ladies,
yeah, 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 yeah.
and teas and coffees.
Yeah, in fact, I think there's a van turning up.
So this is the schoolroom. Oh, look. She's lovely.
Oh yes.
Very nice. Is that bronze or is it?
She's a resin bronze, yes.
Yeah, she's
So
lovely,
she's
isn't
she's weatherproof. She'll go anywhere,
Yeah. Ah.
as it were.
And there's an upstairs part.
There's
to
an
this
upstairs,
as well.
yeah. There's an upstairs part. There's the toy department and the pictures and the pictures upstairs as well. The book
Another
room through there.
beautiful stained window up there.
Oh yes,
I don't
that's
know if you
yes.
can see that.
You get a better shot of that upstairs.
Maybe.
but-
Yeah. Oh, do you? Okay.
There's enormous 4-poster bed in the corner.
Oh, yes, look at that.
I mean, it is a huge. I mean, look at the height of
My
that.
goodness, so you actually have to bring all that in, assemble it,
Yeah, I mean,
and then a week later possibly.
that hadn't been erected, as it were, for about several years. It came in its wrap and then it went into the warehouse.
Oh my
You
goodness.
work for your money, don't you?
Oh, yeah. I know, but it's a
You're actually
fantastic.
only about 25.
Oh, exactly, yeah, I don't look bad for you.
Don't look bad for 25.
I don't look bad for 25. No, it's, yeah, so,
So can we have a sneaky quick
yeah,
look up
absolutely,
there
yeah,
just to
absolutely, yeah,
show
absolutely,
that? Can
absolutely.
we get round this
Yeah,
way?
yeah, we should have got
Yes,
a
we can.
system that you can get around it.
Oh, I'm seeing loads of things like that. Look at this.
Yeah, the
Love
little
that.
candle stand, yeah.
I'll have to go in and get the paperwork so that I can
That's
see
an
what.
unusual piece, actually, just a nice piece of pine, Dutch pine,
Gorgeous, isn't it?
Dutch pine
Isn't
cupboard.
that
Yeah.
lovely? Does that break down? Or
It
is
does. It breaks here, but then it's all fitted out with,
Oh,
with
that's
shelves and so on.
super.
I mean, like, you know, great kitchen piece, really, isn't it?
Isn't it?
You know, if you had somebody with a magic, with one of those
Do you remember what the
ginormous kitchens, 5 to
reserve-
800.
five to 800? Is that
Five to
all?
eight-
Wow.
Yeah,
It'll go for a lot more than that, of course, but it's. I would have.
depends on the skill of the auctioneer, really.
Of
yeah.
course. Well, in that case, it'd be 4,000 pounds.
Yes, right. Okay.
So let's pop up the stairs
Yep.
and just go and have a look at. So the upstairs is what, the art.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. So preparation for the sales goes on right until.
Well, very good. Well, Toby's just photographing a load of point Toby. Ceramics for a 20th century sale we've got between Christmas and New Year. So we're just behind with that, but it's like a factory really. You'll never really quite catch up with it.
And all these lovely beams. And
Yes. So there was we put this floor in.
Did you?
Yeah, we put this floor in about 25 years ago because it was open. Pretty much there was a ceiling across here.
yeah.
We took the ceiling down and found all these lovely beams up here.
That's
And had them.
exciting.
It was, and had them sort of stripped back, had them shot blasted back, and it really makes a very lovely room actually, very light.
You've got some lovely variants of artwork here, haven't you? From
Yeah.
quite sort of
Oh
contemporary.
yes, look, I mean,
even
we're
modern
you know we're standing by these little tapestries and so on now, mezzotints, oil paintings, prints, all within within 8 feet of us here really.
Yeah,
Just a
fantastic.
very short.
Ooh, gets me all excited coming into places
Well,
like
that's what we're here for. We're here to excite everybody.
It's like the clients.
Excite the clients. And then down the far end there is toys.
Yes, that's normally full of teddy bears.
No, yes, we've got some. There's another rocking
Oh
horse.
yes,
It's
that's a nice one.
quite it is a nice one, a
Very
modern,
pretty.
modern day rocking horse. This one,
Yes, that's very pretty.
which is good. And then we've got all these earlier toys
Oh,
and
that's a lovely one.
teddy bears. Yes,
That's beautiful.
yes.
Love that one. Yeah, and some very old teddies there that have been well loved.
Oh yes, they have. They've been.
They go for an awful lot of money, don't they, these beautiful
Yes,
old
well,
teddy bears?
yes. In fact, if you've got a teddy bear with only one eye and one ear, you can get more for it than you can with a full complement of eyes and ears. So we have a sharp knife.
Butcher them. Oh,
But there we are. That's.
fantastic. So the additional space is obviously up the road.
Is up the road? Yep.
We
That's.
won't pop up there today, but it's within easy.
Oh yes, it's on the way down from the car park, so it's en
So-
route. So there's about another 50 or 60 lots in there, including even a mobility centre. We can bring almost a
That'd
brand
be
new
very
mobility.
useful. A new company vehicle.
Yeah, put it against tax. Yeah, we've got one of those. You put a trailer on the back. It's all
The
working.
grandfather clock in it.
There you
Why
go.
not?
Exactly.
These
Exactly.
lovely chairs.
Yes, those are absolutely your sort of.
Absolutely. Very Fifi-esque those are.
They are. They're.
Love those. I think it's going to be a good sale, Philip.
I'm looking forward to it actually.
Yeah.
I think we have got a good sale. It's the
Yes.
last one of the last big one of the year, and then we've got the modern art between Christmas and New Year, and then at the very end of January or very early February there'll be another sale exactly like this,
Right.
and Christmas and New Year somewhere in between.
So we need to draw ourselves
Yes.
to a close.
Yes, we have to
So-
move on. So thank you, Philip.
Well, it's a pleasure. Well, it would be very nice if we did introduce some new clients. I mean, it's great. You can attend the sales as often or as rarely as you wish, but they're consistent here. That's the thing about it. So you can just join in the game.
we do
whenever
like
you want.
consistency.
We
don't
like consistency. It's one of the few things we were able to achieve. I think surprisingly.
Oh,
Oh,
Excellent.
Consistent chaos. Anyway.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
We
No.
will see you at the sale.
That's lovely.
Take
Thank you.
care. Bye bye.